Alrighty guys, good afternoon and welcome. Here we are jumping into the Go4WoT Asia Cup number 23. Hello and welcome, I'm GoGoGadget, and tonight we've got a match starting off. Should be a pretty interesting one. Chicken Seduction taking on No Real Danger. I love that name of CKSD as they are abbreviated to. And they are going to be doing battle here on Ruinberg to start things off in this best of three matchup. So we've already got some tank picks underway. Let's go ahead and roll through those ones. To start off with, we have got Monster in tank there for CKSD, picking two IS3s, two T54 lightweights, a 1390 and a T37. So a little bit of a mixed pick there. They are going to be on the attack, Chicken Seduction, so good to see a bit of a balanced pick there. I think that's pretty good. Don't know about the 1390, but I think on Ruinberg the 1390 does actually work quite well. So right now we're getting some more picks coming in. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they are. We have got NRD, No Real Danger. They're going to be locking in. Let's have a look. So Death of Rats, they're picking two IS3s first up, 254 lightweight. So again, mirror picks for the first four picks from each teams, and then an IS3 and an AMX 12 ton, and an AMX 5100 for NRD's last tank. So NRD going a little bit heavier than Chicken Seduction. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. NRD of course are on the defense this game as well. But I think Chicken Seduction's line is pretty good. I mean, they can send some of their IS3s maybe down there, get a field push going with their light tanks around that area, and that could definitely potentially work out. I mean, they could even just go for the one flag if they really wanted to. I don't think that would work out too badly, but does depend on how the defensive lineup is set up, and that's a pretty strong looking defensive lineup. You know, three IS3s, one AMX 5100, two 54 lightweights, two T54s. Yeah, so that's definitely strong. And I like the choice of the two T54s in here. I think in Ruinberg you do need that extra little bit of mobility. You can park your IS3s kind of towards the middle of the map. AMX 5100, it's mobile enough for a heavy. T54s, they can get anywhere in a flash, so I do like what they're picking. So right now though, let's go ahead and have a quick run through of the NRD lineup while we're getting the rollout happening, with 4 seconds left on the clock. So to start off with, up the top, let's go. We have got Deadman Walkie here in his AMX 5100. A Bogan Warrior is going to be in this IS3. We have got Eleanor in the IS3 as well, as is Extravagance. And Death of Rats is going to be in the first T54 lightweight. Wilso driving his second one there, and we've got Marty Boy in that AMX 12 ton. On the other side though, Chicken Seduction, we have got them moving out already, so splitting their forces. This is pretty interesting actually. They've got their three IS3s heading down south here, but they've got the rest of their four tanks just clustered up in that C1 area. So that's pretty interesting actually. Not something we always see, in fact, but yeah, Monster in tank though, he is going to be pushing up as well. Interesting. So I wonder if they're going to maybe try and push onto the one flag at the same time as these IS3s here show themselves and kind of create a bit of a diversion, or so that once those other tanks on the NRD lineup start to rotate to react to the one flag push, then these IS3s might be able to catch them out across the field. I wonder if that's what Chicken Seduction are trying to do here with this setup. I think that could definitely work. That definitely has potential. So it's looking like the IS3s at the moment are going to be pushing up very aggressively. Still not spotted just yet though, but they are going to be soon. That AMX 12 ton there, Marty Boy surely must see them. And we've actually got the heavies from NRD's side. most of them lined up in that town there. 2 IS-3s and Deadman walking in this 5100. But some shots already coming across, a few ricochets. There's one that penetrates though. The IS-3 here, it's going to be Modest V taking a shot. Getting his repair up as well. Ooh, ammo racked actually going to have to repair that one, I'd imagine. That's Death of Rats doing the work there. So at the moment, Chicken Seduction, they're a little bit out in the open here. I'm not too convinced with this. So I feel as though they might need to move back a little bit, which is exactly what they're doing. Getting into some better positions. There we go. And reducing the angles of fire that are being applied to them. So right now, Deadman walking, getting shot himself actually. Dropped down to 75% HP, but he's wrecking already. Already though, NRD have lost one of their IS-3s. Need to go into a bit of damage control at the moment actually. They've lost an IS-3 and an AMX 12-ton. Deadman walking as well, not looking too good. So we do have that single T-37 still putting the base cap pressure on the 1 flag for Chicken Seduction. And now the rest of the Tier 8s of NRD, apart from T-54 Lightweight, have been relegated back into the town. A bit of a brawl it out here, and it's looking like Modest V might be going down. He is tracked, doesn't have any more repair kits, used his early one to repair that ammo rack, but he is still alive. Does manage to get one more shot at before he goes down. That's going to be a ricochet. And they need to finish him off, NRD. Oh, another ricochet! Very costly miss there. Modest V going to be able to get another 376 damage out before he finally goes down to Alien. Also, finally NRD put one on the field. But Bogan Warrior, he's not looking good. 6% health. And we've got Wilso, 2276 up there. Wilso's just moving up. Death of Rats on 100%, needs to take some damage, I feel. Needs to kind of put himself into the firing line. But right now we've got Bogan Warrior. He's going to be going down there. 81 HP is all that's taken to finish him off, and it's not looking good for NRD at the moment, only with 3 Tier 8 tanks remaining. And well, some of these tanks actually on the Chicken Seduction lineup, they are fairly low, like Iguru here in his T-54 Lightweight, but we've still got the AMX there, 100% HP, the IS-3s, at least 2 shots from death, so it is really not looking good for NRD right here. And with Death of Rats, they're getting swarmed by 3 tanks. He's not long for this world, but he might be able to get one more shot off 1% HP. Needs one more shot to take out the T-54. He's not going to get it. Dan's takes him out instead. And this is going to be a pretty fairly convincing first match win for Chicken Seduction, or first round win in this best of 3 match, I should say. So they're finally going down, and Chicken Seduction coming out of that one only losing 1 tank. I feel as though NRD they did pretty well considering there. They just couldn't quite manage to take down those tanks early enough. Modest V, I want to see how much damage he took. Yeah, look at that. Damage blocked by armor, 1.6 thousand damage worth of ricochets, and that's that's like having more than 1 IS-3 extra on the field. So very, very important and great play there by Modest V, getting those angles happening, all of that. So right now it's looking like we can take a look at the rest of the team score. We've got Monster in Tank. He dealt 2k damage right up the top there for Chicken Seduction. Rincelet Cat there, about 1.9 thousand damage, 2 kills as well. But Death of Rats in his T-54 Lightweight definitely did well as well for NRD, dealing over 2,200 damage. So right now we're going to be jumping into the next picks for this next half. Of course, NRD are now going to be swapping over, and they're going to be trying their hand at the offense here in Ruinberg. So I'll see how well that works out for them. And I'd probably be expecting a fairly maybe a few more T-54s on the offense here for NRD in their lineup, but definitely nothing too crazy. Ruinberg, it's one of those fairly stock standard maps. I mean, you pick IS-3s, you pick T-54s, and you're pretty much set on Ruinberg. Maybe an AMX 50, well, maybe any sort of AMX thrown in there, 5100, 1390, they all work. So there we go. First couple of tank picks are in from No Real Danger. A couple of IS3s. Actually, you know what? I think maybe No Real Danger, if they just picked a full heavy lineup and went for the one flag, just did a straight one flag push, then you know, they're the sort of team that can make that work, I think, maybe. But they're not going to be going for the full heavy lineup, going for 2 T54s instead as their next 2 picks. We've also got Chicken Seduction there locking in for their first 2 picks, 2 T54 lightweights on the defense, and an IS3 and a 5100 as well. So getting a bit of heavy armour under their belts. But certainly all fairly standard picks so far. IS3 and an AMX 1390 there for Death of Rats. So yeah, going with the 1390 on the attack. Well, I suppose the 1390 did work out well there for CKSD. So you know, never a bad idea to emulate success for the tank picks, I think. Particularly, I know that some of the NRD guys, they do like playing that 1390 as well. So yeah, fairly strong pick overall. Next up, Monster in Tank, I think, needs to pick 2 more. Yep, 2 more tier 8s, and he's going to be locking in an RU251 and a T54 lightweight. So going with that German tier 8 light and another Russian. You know, RU251, I think it's always, you know, always okay if you just throw in one RU into your lineup. Of course, the T54 will outgun it in most will kind of beat it in most situations with the T54's much nicer armour, but the RU does have just that slightly better gun. So right now, though, we've got the Tier 6 light tanks being locked in, so that's going to be an AMX 12-ton and a T37 for both these teams. And now we should be ready to go. Let everyone know that we're ready. The sides have been swapped now, so I'm going to be spectating NRD rolling out from the attack. And let's not forget, they need to win this one. This is a best of 3, so if they lose this, Chicken Seduction take the second game, then NRD are going to be eliminated from this week's Go4WoT Asia Cup. And they do not want that. In fact, last night, for those of you that may have been watching on last night's Go4WoT August finals, we saw NRD. They actually got eliminated first up as well, so I didn't get a chance to spectate them and cast them, which wasn't good. Definitely good to jump in here now. I know a couple of the NRD lads. I've met a couple of the NRD lads, so... right now, though, we've got 15 seconds left before this one kicks off, and I think we're going to be running through Chicken Seduction's crew as they roll out of the gates on their side. So, as they're going to be taking in pretty balanced but fairly light lineup onto the defensive side. So, on the Chicken Seduction side, we have got in the T37, Dan's 24. The T54 lightweights are being driven here by Zero Iced, Modest, and Monster in Tank, with Fan 91 in his RU251, Rinslet Cat in the IS3, and Iguru in that AMX 5100. But let's go ahead and take a look back over towards the NRD crew, who are rolling out of the gates right here, heading towards the 2 flag from the looks of things. So here's a bit of a field push coming here. We've got Deadman walking, following Wilso up in towards what looks to be a bit of a zero line push from these two. Or at least a zero line scout from the looks of things. So Deadman walking and Wilso going to be popping their heads over there. And that RU251, that is not the tank that you want to get caught out in open cover. Very, very squishy there. Deadman walking, wants to hit a few shots. Is he going to be able to? No, it doesn't look like it. Wilso misses his next one. So, that RU251 Fan 91, I think he got away fairly cheaply for that one. Only taking, so close. Only taking, well, actually I was about to say only taking about 500 damage, but that's a fair amount of damage. So taking 500 damage for that, definitely going to be hurting. But right now, the rest of NRD continuing to push up the field, and it's looking like we're getting the rotate in now from Chicken Seduction. So they're going to be pushing right back on towards NRD. And pushing through the town. So Death of Rats here has to be a little bit careful in that T54 lightweight. He's dropped down to 57% HP already. A lot of tanks coming around him. It's looking like that T54 there is the focus. In the meantime, though, Deadman walking. He's not looking too good. Dropped down to 12% HP. Dodges a shot from the 5100. And it's looking like he will duck behind a bit of cover. So excellent bit of mobile play there from Deadman walking, managing to keep himself alive. In the meantime, though, Monster in Tank has just taken down the first of NRD's lineup. Wilso goes down there to his T54. Marty Boy actually taking out Zero Ice as well. So far, NRD off to a much better start this round, taking out 2 tier 8s early on and make that 3 actually as Monster in Tank goes down. Bogan Warrior in his IS-3 is doing work, and NRD right here, they have fantastic positions on the field. So they're going to be reclaiming this town, and they're actually looking, I think, fairly healthy as well. Deadman walking, of course, only on 12%, but that's all right. He's done his job. Right now, Bogan Warrior's looking healthy. Extravagance looking healthy as well. Let's flick over to Rinslet Cat. He's actually looking on 100% HP, not too bad as well. As Deadman tries to go for the shot, very cheeky there, and he's actually going to be going for another one. Oh, very risky. Rinslet cannot respond though, as he still hasn't actually taken any points of damage. It's looking like that T37 there, Dan's 24, is dropped down to 124 HP. The Ram's going to be coming in. There we go, Death of Rats. Oh no, Death of Rats getting so low. Dropped down to 2% HP, but he survives. And it's looking like NRD right here are gaining the upper hand. Chicken Seduction only with 3 tanks. No, 2 tanks remaining. 1 tank. Make that. There's a Guru there. The last man standing for them in that AMX 5100. He's going to be going down the field, so he might be able to take out Deadman walking. He does manage to, but overall an excellent performance there from NRD as they take out Chicken Seduction, barely losing 2 tanks, and they're going to be drawing this one out to a third game, which is great to see for our first matchup of the night. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team score and the battle results. We can see again, Death of Rats going huge here for NRD. I think it was it Death of Rats or Deadman that got top damage last time. One of the two. Anyways, 2.6 thousand damage in that T54 lightweight. Absolutely powerhoused it. And on the other side, well, Chicken Seduction, they just weren't able to get out enough damage. And I feel as though that they had a few too many lights in their lineup. I mean, only 1 IS-3 on the defense of Ruinberg. Not convinced, but there we go. Hindsight is 20/20, of course. And then now we're going to be jumping into the tiebreaker match, which is going to be played in Himmelsdorf. I think, yes, Himmelsdorf. So there we go. As we've got Death of Rats saying, okay, Chicken Seduction are going to be picking their tanks first. And of course, for those that don't know, Himmelsdorf here, we're going to be expecting lots of Tier 8, well, Tier 8 of course, lots of heavy tanks, lots of IS-3s, a couple of AMX 5100s. I'm going to go with one team is going to pick 4 IS-3s. So yeah, the team on the defense could pick 4 IS-3s, 2 5100s, and let's say a T37, maybe a 12-ton instead. Although I do know that NRD, I think they still like their T32, so they might put one T32 into that lineup instead. Either way, much of a muchness there, as it's looking like NRD are going to be locking in defense for this one. Alrighty, and I think that's actually a pretty good choice there from NRD. I think it's just still slightly easier to defend it up here on Himmelsdorf than it is to attack. But it'll be very interesting actually to see see any sort of statistics for that in competitive play. I don't actually watch too many of the European Wargaming.net League games. But right now we're getting the first couple of picks in from Chicken Seduction, going with one AMX 5100, one T37 on the attack. Death of Rats there for NRD. Surprise, surprise, going with two IS3s. Going to be expecting two IS3s probably to come in next for CKSD. Actually, looks like CKSD. Oh no, they're just reading up with their old tanks from the looks of things. Yep, there we go. Two IS3s for CKSD that they've just locked in, and NRD maybe picking AMX IS here, I would say. Yeah, just going with another two IS3s and the last two heavies. Oh yeah, so we've got two IS3s there as well. And it's looking like another two locked in for CKSD. So IS3s all across the board here. And CKSD still yet to pick their last tier 8 tank. So probably could be a 5100, I'd say. I mean, even a T54 does work here as well. So yep, there we go. Surprise, surprise. Death of Rats. I did call that. Not that it's hard to call on Himmelsdorf, but going to be going with the stock standard lineup: 4 IS3s, 2 5100s, and either a 12T or a T37, depends what they pick. I do actually like the not the Comet. I've got the name of it. I own one as well. The British Tier 6 light tank, British Tier 6 medium tank rather. And yep, there we go. There's the T37 locked in for no real danger. So going to be getting that one locked in. Probably going to be sending that T37. I always like sending the light tank just down into that little proxy spotting area down there, where effectively it gives you free sort of eyes of whenever the attacking team pushes up the banana here. So it's probably where I'd be expect to be seeing that tier 6 there for Death of Rats. I'll let everyone know that we're ready. And the last pick there for Monster in Tank is another AMX 5100. So we've actually got a dead set mirror match here on Himmelsdorf to decide it out. So who knows, maybe this will kind of give us a bit of a insight onto what side is slightly more favoured on Himmelsdorf, depending on how these guys play it. Alrighty, so everyone is ready. Should be able to jump into the game right now. And okay, I think probably going to be expecting CKSD to be sending one, maybe two, probably just one AMX 5100 up to the hill to get some shots down on towards NRD. NRD, I think they do actually know how to do the rails defense properly, I think, so they're going to be sending maybe a couple of tanks out there to the kind of two-ish, three-ish lines, around about CD or so. But we'll have to wait and see. And probably just generally setting up into some very standard positions right now. Though we've got 3 seconds left on the clock, it's time to jump in and find out who is going to be progressing on in today's Go4WoT brackets and who is going to be eliminated in this match here between No Real Danger and Chicken Seduction, which again is the best name of any esports team I've ever heard. So here we go. Death of Rats. Oh, that's a bit of a funky one. Death of Rats here is going to be moving up. Also 2276 as well. And these guys are going to be heading towards the hill. In the meantime, we have got, like we suspected, one of the AMX 5100s for CKSD heading up the hill. We've got the T37 Dan's 24 up there as well. So Dan's is going to be popping up there. Oh, it's Dead Man Walking actually. It's a bit of a shot across. So Dan's here is going to be... That's a very funky one. is going to be spotting him out, maybe even trying to get a few shots of his own. That T37, if it gets the side of the IS-3, you never know, it might be able to hit it. It might be able to pin it. Right now, though, we've got Wilso looking up the hill there. And not going to be seeing anything. It was a shot actually just missed. Marty, oh no, shot almost hit Marty Boy right there. Yes, there we go. So, Marty Boy actually losing his loader in that little trade. So, coming out definitely worse for wear. Going to be forced to pop a medic pack if he has it. Looks like a few vertices in the background there, just going a little bit crazy. But not to worry. We can still see the tanks, which is the important thing. Right now, though, we've got a bit of a railway push here coming in potentially from CKSD. And, oh, there we go. Yeah, Wilso just taking down the AMX. So, okay, I like this. They've just taken down the two tanks on the hill, but this is where it's dangerous for NRD because they've committed 2 AMXs to take down one. Death of Rats as well has been dropped down to 25% HP, and this is where Chicken Seduction can pull the trigger on the 1 flag push. And we've seen it yesterday. This exact same thing in the August finals, where one team committed 2 or 3 of their heavy or of their tier 8 tanks up in towards that hill to flush out the hill and lost the 1 flag because of it. So NRD are in danger of doing the exact same thing right here. And with the base cap already on, well, 50 right there, we can see NRD, they need to react very, very quickly. Right here, Bogan Warrior is actually going to be taking a shot as he crosses there. Deadman walking as well, taking a lot of hits, dropped down to 80% HP as he's going to be jumping on towards the flag right there, getting the reset happening. Hopefully, got 1 reset, not going to be able to get the second though, as Modest V takes him down. And well, Deadman really did not have much of an impact there at all. The base cap though is reset again, dropped down to 55, so a little bit of a reprieve for NRD, but they have just lost one of their IS-3s and really they're sacrificing a lot of HP to try and get these resets happening. Wilso is going to be going down there to Genie Mark, and Death of Rats is not looking too healthy either. Dropped down to 25% HP. Extravagance here, moving himself towards the flag as Marty Boy. Looks like he's going to be the next focus. Does manage to get that key reset in as Bogan Warrior takes one down as well. Bogan's not looking too bad. So they've got the reset happening and they've actually managed to take down another one of those tier 8 tanks on the Chicken Seduction lineup, so this is still fairly even. The base capture though has been reset, so now the time, I was about to say things are looking up for NRD, but they've just lost 2 tanks. Death of Rats going down, Eleanor going down, and now only Extravagance and Bogan Warrior. If we take a look at the health of the remaining 4 Chicken Seduction tanks, really all that NRD can go for is that Aguru has to reload now, which actually looks like it might be what he's doing. No, he's poking out maybe at the moment. But we can see right there, Monster and Tank, he's still looking really healthy. Genie Mark still on 575. Bogan Warrior 1 shot or so from Death. Extravagance, only healthy one on the NRD lineup. Bogan Warrior is going to be going down right there, so it's looking like Chicken Seduction are going to be taking this one out. And, very hard fought battle there from NRD, but yeah, I mean that's always the issue when you send 2 tanks up into the hill. I think as well as that, the 2 tanks that they sent up into the hill, I think they came back with 25 and 80% health respectively on both of their AMX 5100s, and in a 2 tier 8 versus tier 8 and tier 6 situation, I would say that's actually not the best. You'd probably want to be coming out from that with a little bit more HP left. But we can take a look there at the scoreboard and see that on the Chicken Seduction side, Rinslet Cat there with his IS-3 dealt over 2.3k damage. So some pretty good numbers there. Aguro there with 2.1k in his AMX 5100 as well. So that is going to mean Chicken Seduction proceeding on towards our quarterfinals for today. And we're going to be jumping off now for a quick little break before those ones, guys. Do not go anywhere. More quarterfinal action coming up right after this.